Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really focusing on a specific mission. We want to give you a powerful shortcut, really, to getting well-informed on something that often trips learners up. That's how to effectively use expert-designed resources for, deep understanding and actually applying what you learn.
Yeah, and our source material today comes straight from ACCA, the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. They produce this wealth of specialized learning support, and they focus right on the areas where people typically struggle. So we're going to pull out the really important nuggets for you.
Exactly. You could think of this deep dive as kind of getting inside the mind of the marker, understanding the person who designed the material, who designs the assessments. It's all about spotting those common pitfalls and using the insights from the people who know the stuff best. It's not just what to learn, that's key, but it's how you approach complex information, how you tackle the tasks efficiently to really maximize your chances of success. Okay, so diving right in then, what's this absolute first step a learner should take to really get the most out of these resources?
Well, the first place to look, I'd say it's a real gold mine, is what they call examiners' reports.
Yeah.
These come out twice a year, so after the March and June exams, and then again after the September and December ones.
Okay.
And the core insight here, the really valuable part, is that they pinpoint not just where candidates did well, but maybe more importantly, where they consistently went wrong.
That sounds incredibly valuable. It's almost like getting a sneak peek at the common mistakes before you fall into the trap yourself. Can you give us a specific example? Like, what's a common trap these reports highlight?
Absolutely. And a key thing is these reports, they don't just talk in general terms. They use specific exam questions as examples. They show you how to, maximize your chances. You need to pay really close attention to the specific knowledge areas that cause trouble. But also, and this is critical, areas related to exam technique. That's often where the easy marks are lost,
Right, the technique. Okay, let's maybe zero in on an example then. You mentioned one from this source. Question 1, Froci case study, December 2021. The scenario, as I recall, was a CEO worried about the board's performance report for their annual review. And the CEO wanted an assessment of the report itself, its numbers, indicators, best practices, that sort of thing.
Exactly. And this is a perfect illustration of a common issue. The examiner's report for this question specifically highlighted that loads of candidates went off track. They ended up doing an analysis of Forci's performance, the company's performance. But the question clearly asked for a consideration of the appropriateness of the report itself.
Right, not the company's results.
Precisely. It's a classic case of answering the question you thought was asked, or maybe the one you wanted to answer, not the one that was actually on the paper. The requirement didn't ask for a performance review at all.
Oh, I could just imagine that sort of facepalm moment when you realize afterwards you've written pages on the wrong thing. So what's the takeaway here? This example really hammers home how vital it is to read the requirements, really carefully. And using these reports can literally stop you from making the exact same mistakes others have already made. And just to be clear, all these examiners' reports are available right there on the ACCA website.
That's right, readily available for everyone.
Okay, so that's about learning from past mistakes. What about resources that proactively help you build understanding in the first place? You mentioned technical articles.
Yes, exactly. That's the next piece of the puzzle. These are great because they're quite flexible. They often come as, actual articles, but sometimes videos, even podcasts. And crucially, they're organized by syllabus order, which really helps structure your learning and revision. And the source material, it specifically flags a few really crucial ones, articles that help bridge that gap between just knowing something and being able to use it. First up, there's one called Reading the Mind of the Marker.
Okay, intriguing title.
It is, isn't it? And it does what it says on the tin. It gives you this unique insight into what the examining teams are actually looking for when they award marks. It uses a specific example, question 1 from the September 2022 specimen exam, and it shows 2 different responses. One good, one that, needs improvement, and it breaks down the mark allocation in detail, gives advice. It even covers how those newer professional skills marks are awarded. Really valuable stuff.
Professional skills marks. We should definitely come back to those.
We should. Then there's another key article, Reading the Question Requirements.
Linking back to our Froci example.
Exactly. It's such a fundamental skill. You need to nail down the verb in the question. What are you actually being asked to do? Evaluate, analyze, recommend. Then figure out the syllabus area being tested. And critically, how are you expected to apply that syllabus knowledge? Sometimes, even the way the requirement is structured, maybe with bullet points or subparts, can give you clues on how to structure your answer.
Using the question to guide the answer structure. Smart.
And the marks available, that's a big clue too. It tells you how much depth, how much detail they're looking for. There's a specific article mentioned, reading the question requirements of APM, that's Advanced Performance Management, which gives more examples.
Okay, so reading the requirement carefully is key. What about applying the knowledge itself? You mentioned models.
Yes, application of models. This is where I think many candidates have those aha moments, or sometimes where they stumble. Often people are pretty good at knowing the theory. They can describe a model, its purpose, its structure,
Like the balanced scorecard, maybe?
Exactly like the balanced scorecard, or PESTLE, or SWOT. But the struggle comes in applying it properly within the context of the specific scenario you're given in the exam.
So just explaining the model isn't enough.
Not at all. That's the key insight. The examining team, if they ask for a model, they expect you to use it, to apply it to the facts of the case, not just give a textbook definition. It's about showing how that model helps analyze the situation or solve the problem presented in the scenario.
Right.
This is a really crucial skill for success, and you see comments about it all the time in the examiner reports. Like, the source mentions the balanced scorecard again in the Calavi sample questions from March-June 2022 as an area where application was sometimes weak.
Okay, so it's not just knowing it, it's using it in context. That makes perfect sense. So basically, these technical articles are designed to stop you falling into those common traps, like misreading the question or just explaining theory. They're about practically applying the knowledge, bridging that gap between theory and actually doing it.
Precisely. They offer a direct line to understanding how to execute effectively.
Understanding is one thing, but like they always say, practice makes perfect, right? So that must bring us to actually doing questions, past exam questions.
Absolutely essential. Like the examiner reports, these are published twice a year, also available on the ACCA website. You can review them, analyze them.
And presumably you use them alongside the examiner's reports.
That's the ideal way, yes. You attempt the question, then you review the examiner's report for that specific exam to understand the best approach, see the common pitfalls for that question, understand how marks were awarded.
Okay. And doing this on paper is one thing, but exams are often computer-based now.
Exactly. Which leads us to the CBE Practice Platform. CBE stands for Computer-Based Exams. The source material uses a really good analogy here. It says, you wouldn't get into a car to drive for the first time on the day of your test, so make sure you don't do the same for your exams.
Huh, good point.
It really is. This platform lets you practice questions using the exact same format, the same software, the same functionality you'll encounter in the real exam. It covers specimen exams, sample questions, and past exams, so you can get completely comfortable with the environment before the pressure's on. It helps minimize any surprises related to the technology on the day.
And just to confirm, is this something special you need to access, or?
No, that's the great thing. All students have access to this platform. It's right there in their ACCA portal.
Fantastic. So easy access to realistic practice. Now, earlier you mentioned professional skills marks, and the source highlights that a significant number, 20 marks in total, are now awarded for these in APM. That sounds pretty crucial.
Oh, it's absolutely crucial. 20 marks is a huge chunk of the exam. It can easily be the difference between a pass and a fail.
So how do you make sure you're actually earning those marks? What are they looking for?
Well, that's the key question, isn't it? These marks are a bit different. They're not just about what technical knowledge you show. They're about how you demonstrate professional competencies. Things like analysis and evaluation skills, skepticism, commercial acumen, communication.
So more about your thinking and how you present your answer.
Exactly. It's about showing you can think and act like a professional accountant in that situation. And thankfully, you're not left guessing. The source points out there's a series of short videos available. They're specifically designed to give you pointers, clear guidance on how to demonstrate these skills and earn those vital marks.
Where can people find those?
They're available via the related links section on the ACCA website, often linked from the study support resources for the specific exam, like APM. Targeted help.
Okay, that's really good to know. Targeted help for those crucial 20 marks. So we just sort of pull all these threads together. We've talked about examiners' reports for learning from mistakes, technical articles for building applied understanding, past questions, and the CBE platform for practice. And these professional skills videos. It seems like there's a really comprehensive suite of resources available. The value looks immense.
It really is.
From getting inside the examiner's head, to mastering how to apply complex models, to getting that hands-on practice in the real exam software, it really does feel like it's about working smarter, not just cramming harder.
That sums it up perfectly. Success isn't just about memorizing information anymore, if it ever was. It's about truly understanding how to interpret what's being asked,
Right.
how to apply your knowledge effectively to that specific situation, and how to present your understanding in a clear, logical, professional way. These resources, used properly, they give you a direct line to developing that crucial understanding. They help you navigate these complex tasks with more confidence and precision.
Definitely food for thought. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Beyond just ACCA exams, what overlooked resource or maybe piece of sort of meta-knowledge exists in your own field, your own area of work or study? What insight could dramatically improve your performance or understanding if you just knew where to find it, or maybe how to interpret it correctly, something to mull over?